Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be cooking a sweet and sour tilapia fish. So what I've got here on the plate obviously is my tilapia whole fish. Next to that I've got some tomato ketchup, about 2 or 3 tablespoons of the ketchup. Just below there I've got the onion. Then I've got some courgettes, some carrots, a little bit of sliced tomato, some broccoli and some sweet peppers. Then above there I've got some red chopped chili, fresh chili, and I've got some chopped garlic, and then I've got some ginger chopped. Equal parts of all 3 of those. As you can see here, I've got 2 glasses at the back there. One is with vinegar and the other is with sugar. Equal parts we need for this. The other 3 bottles are just a display to help you understand that you can use any vinegar for this, a white, a malt, a dark, a coconut. There's so many different types. I probably wouldn't use an onion vinegar because it would be very strong, but generally, a cider vinegar, any of those are fine. So the first thing we have to do is we have to make the sweet and sour sauce that's completely separate from the vegetables and the fish. So let's go and do that, and then we'll move on to the next stage. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got a large pan, and I've mixed the equal parts of sugar and the vinegar. I'm going to bring this to a boil. I've got this on quite a high heat, and while that's happening we can add our ginger, our garlic and the chili. Now we need to cook this for quite a long time. We need to sort of reduce it. The sugar will make the vinegar turn quite thick, so that's where you get that kind of glaze appearance from the sauce. I'm also now going to add this ketchup, which helps the whole thing go along. So that goes in. Like I said, that's like 2 or 3 tablespoons. So we just need to bring that to the boil. It'll take, I don't know, 6 minutes, I would imagine, and then we're ready to the next stage of everything. Okay, so this has been on for about 10 minutes. It's reducing quite nicely. I'm quite happy with that. I'll just give it a few more minutes and then we'll set that to one side. Okay, so that's about 15 minutes now. I've turned this off, the heat. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's reduced somewhat, by 50% at least. It's slightly thick. Now it's got an incredibly strong smell, this. Basically we've been boiling vinegar, so it's not a pleasant smell while it's happening, but it will be absolutely delicious. Okay, so the sweet and sour sauce is done. I've set that to one side. I've now got a pan here. Obviously get a pan that's big enough for your fish. I've got ½ centimetre of regular cooking oil here. In fact, this is a sunflower oil. And I've got my fish right there. I don't know if you can see that, but we've scored the fish here. This just helps it cook a little bit quicker, and it will get all the juices into it and the flavours. So let's pop her in. And we're going to just fry this fish for about 2 or 3 minutes on each side. I'm also going to add a lid that will just get it steaming, get the oil happening. It will go berserk inside, but it will cook nicely. So we'll come back in a couple of minutes and we'll turn the fish over. Okay, so that's a few minutes over. Let's have a look at this fish. It's been crisping away. Let's make sure it's not stuck, which is great. So you can already see, because of the lid, it's starting to cook, steam itself as well as fry. So it's going to be a little bit noisy, so I'll turn this over and talk in a second. Okay, so I'll just put the lid on just so I can talk. So as you can see, or you saw, that the fish is nice and crispy on that side. We're going to do the same on the other side, and we're going to lower the heat and start adding some vegetables, just steam them slightly, then we'll add the sauce, and she's going to be ready. So one last peek. There you go. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, so we're back now after just 2 or 3 minutes. This sounds like it's going a little bit crazy, which is expected. So I'm I'm not even going to bother turning this fish over. I know what it's going to be like. So she's very crispy on both sides, but I can still feel that she's quite fleshy, which is perfect. What we're going to do now is I'm going to add some carrots and onions. We're going to retain this oil in there. It may look like a lot to you, but it's actually going to be perfect. It'll be fine. Now I'm going to add the peppers and tomatoes and the courgettes and the broccoli. So let's just keep them on a high heat still. I'm not turning the heat down just yet. Lid on, 2 minutes, just let them sort of work together. I'll come back and then we'll add the sweet and sour sauce that we made earlier. We'll then lower the heat for 5 minutes and then this is done, this dish. Okay, so that's just a couple of minutes in now. It's looking perfect. So, here's the sauce that we made earlier, the sweet and sour sauce. It's cooled down a little bit now. There's plenty there, it's really reduced. Now you may have noticed that we haven't put any salt, pepper, garlic, chilli, nothing in here. This is just quite plain. And that's because this magic potion right here, this has got all the flavour we're going to need. The sweetness, the sourness, of course, the chilli in there, and the garlic and the ginger. So keep this nice and plain. We're now going to just pour this all over there. I'm going to put the lid back on this, turn the heat down just for to a simmer level, and just let that work in together. You know, let's get those juices inside that fish now, and literally in 2 to 3 minutes we're going to be done. So I'll see you when I put it on the plate. Okay, so there we have it. So that's just a couple of minutes later. The vegetables have still got a little bit of crispness to them. The fish is really, really crispy all over. But still there's a nice lot of sort of tender meat inside that, especially on this type of fish, the tilapia. You can also use any other type of whole fish if you want, like a bream or a sea bass, a snapper. Entirely up to you. But tilapia in particular is a very fleshy, meaty fish, which is really good for this dish. The sweet and sourness is incredibly pungent, to say the least. It's strong. It can take your breath away. In fact, while we're cooking the actual sauce, when you're boiling the vinegar, what do you expect? But it is really fantastic, this dish. Please visit us again and see our other videos of all different types of genres of food from around the world. Check us out on Facebook, check out the websites. You take care, I'll see you really soon. Bye bye.